And this defense is reeling already. First play of the game, and you give up an explosive play in the passing game just like that. They better collect themselves and buckle up and get ready to go.
What a throw by the QB. You think about it, you don't have much space near the sideline, and he put that thing right on the outside of the sideline where his receiver could go make a play. Not only does he make the play, I'm pretty sure he got a foot in bounds, and that's a great touchdown catch. What a playmaker.
The flash, style, swagger, these two defined an era of great college football, and it's always fun to see them square off.
So well put, Reese. I mean, two flashy programs. They're rocking. The state of Florida's rocking. Everybody's wanting to go to Miami and Florida State. This is a big one, Palmer.
Yeah, and David, you and I can appreciate this because we were playing back in the day when these two programs really had it rolling, when they had so much NFL talent and speed on the field, it seemed like each and every year. And this was a game that always seemed to determine the national championship picture at the end of the year.
When you think of the significance of these two programs in the history of college football, remarkable that they've only been playing since 1951.
It's crazy because there's so many games you can pull out of your brain, Reese, and I'm sure because you were born then when this rivalry started, there's so many games that were so important that had such big implications, Jesse.
It seems like over the course of 3 decades, right? The 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, every time these two teams played, Miami and Florida State, we were talking about how it would impact the national championship picture. This really has been one of the better rivalries in the sport, even though it's really not that old.
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this, runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, the Flats, Bobby Dodd Stadium, home of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and the Ramblin' Wreck, hoping to rev up that engine. That was a lightning-fast drive that ends with a touchdown.
And if you can string a few more drives like that together, man, we might as well get our popcorn out because we're going to get a lot of scoring.
Another big gain on the catch here. Big target out there like a Roy Williams was back in the day.
No doubt. And find your guys, find your matchups. And listen, when you're at Texas, you recruit at a high level. You usually get better dudes than you're playing against. Find those guys, let them make plays for you.
There is little that warms the heart of a defender like a strip sack. Even better if you get the ball.
And I like the awareness of this defender on the play because he knew he might not actually get to the quarterback and make the hit, but he was able to still swat away, use those long arms to create the turnover.
They recruit against each other. They live next door to each other in the case of the fans, and that's why this is an intense rivalry.
Intense, and it doesn't matter. They've been in the same conference. They've been all over the place with this, but you know what it is? It's a game that matters every single year to both these universities.
You're right, David. They always just seem to find each other, right, on the collision course. And BYU-Utah, to me, is one of the most physical games in all of college football every single year, and you know this one's not going to be any different.
This clash dates all the way back to the late 1800s and is carried on through days of independence, changes in conference affiliation, but the constant is disdain and contempt for the other side.
You're right, Reese. It's pretty wild because the rivalry dates back to the same year the state of Utah was founded in 1896. That's how long these two teams have been going. This thing is historic, and every year, David, it's an incredible football game.
And I love what Reese said, too, though. They've changed conferences. They've been independent. Whatever it takes, they want to play each other because they want the bragging rights in the state of Utah because it means a heck of a lot.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
You don't always have to run the sexy plays, right? It doesn't have to always be up-tempo and fast and spread and doing all this stuff. Sometimes you just lower your shoulder. Sometimes you just run powerfully. You get the first down.
Legendary Tennessee coach General Bob Neyland used to say you never know what a football player is made of until he faces Alabama. We're about to find out what everybody's made of, guys.
Yes, we are, and this rivalry is so great. Growing up in the South, man, you knew the third Saturday in October was throwdown, was big-name Tennessee, big-name Alabama, Jesse, and they were going to go at it.
And, David, it just feels like when these two teams take the field, there's just a different energy in the stadium. Regardless of where they're playing, someone's going to be enjoying victory cigars when this one's over. Can't wait to find out who.
Crimson Tide dominated the last time they saw the Vols blowing out Tennessee.
Man, Reese, it was roll tide roll as soon as they got off the bus. David, they were bigger, they were stronger and faster, and it showed up on the scoreboard.
And Tennessee hasn't forgotten about it. You've had a year to stew on it and do something about it because you had a lot of mistakes a year ago.
Despite all the bitterness in the Alabama-Auburn rivalry, to many, this game, Alabama-Tennessee, has the richest tradition and carries the most importance.
And you think of some of the legends that have trolled the sidelines in this rivalry, right? Paul Bear Bryant, Johnny Majors, Nick Saban. This has been such a critical game, not just in the SEC, but all across college football as well, David.
In 1901, going back that far, this rivalry, the fans absolutely don't like each other. Nothing. They don't like anything about each other. Every time the other team's playing, they're cheering against them. This game has always meant a lot. And great execution by the quarterback. And when you think about Tennessee offense, man, when they got their trigger man, and they've had some great ones, Peyton Manning, T. Martin, Hendon Hooker had an unbelievable run. They find that guy, man, their offenses have been so hard to stop.
All of these players on the field might have a higher calling, but guys, in this one, tough, hard-nosed running games against stout defenses.
And almost every year we go to this game, and there is absolutely nothing like it. The pageantry before the game, on the field, honoring everybody there, and realizing they're not just fighting for a game. They're fighting for everyone in the stands. And so it is one of the coolest scenes every single year.
And there's a lot of pride in this game between Army and Navy and the bragging rights. It's been going on now for decades and for over a century. This game at the end of the college football year, it just means more to these two teams.
Last time the cadets and mids clashed, it was Army winning a close one.
They came out, they did what they needed to do late in the game to get the win, and they've been talking about it for an entire year back in West Point, getting another win over their big rival Navy.
And the bragging in this rivalry is enormous, right? It's not just a normal game. This is a game that everybody watches, cheers for, but the uniforms really matter.
This rivalry started in 1890 when Dennis Mikey, for whom the stadium at West Point is named, talked Navy into playing a game and the mids blew him out.
And since that first blowout, obviously, this has been an unbelievable rivalry. So many things about it, honoring the fallen, the march on, the battle of the bands. So many of these things have gone back and forth. But, Jesse, the football is phenomenal. Old school offenses that will hit you right in the mouth.
It's pretty cool, too, when you think about the history of this rivalry, because back in the day, these were two of the best programs in college football. There have been national championships, Heisman trophies. Not necessarily the same thing today, but when you think about great rivalries in the sport, this is it right here.
They call this America's game because no matter who you root for, you're captivated by this.
Well, and this is just one of those games I think always just stands out just because of the way it looks, right? It's all the uniforms in the stands. It's the pageantry, history of this game, the style of football these two teams play as well. It just means so much to these players.
It's so cool, and it's saved for after the Heisman Trophy championship games when they get the spotlight on them, a well-deserved spotlight for what they do for everyone out there across this country.